Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, actually. Today, Mathieu and I, we're going to be talking about 7 key steps to hosting a successful NPO event. That is something that we organized in the previous days. And knowing that um, events are always important, but even if like it's summertime or any other time during the year, it's always important to consider how to organize an event, what key elements are important to know before, during, and after um, organizing this type of events. So that being said, uh, Tech. We're gonna start with Livestorm. So Mathieu, if you don't mind, can you please give us some indication of how it works?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. So today we are using Livestorm for our presentation. The interface is pretty simple. If you have anything to say to either me or my colleague, Camilo, you can send us a message in the chat. We would appreciate to know who you're with today, for what association or NPO you're currently taking part into this webinar. After, you will have the question section. So this section will allow you to ask questions to our team, but also to upvote any of the questions of the other people in the webinar to show your interest in regards to what question we should address first. And the last one is the poll section. Here we'll be presenting you or offering 2 different polls, one pretty soon and another one later at the end of the webinar, just to see if you appreciated the content we presented and if you think it was useful to get a hold of the tools that Yapla is offering.
Great. So thanks, Mathieu. Now, speaking about the agenda, there's a few elements that we want to talk about today. In summary, there's speaking about the tips and tricks for successful NPO events. We're going to be talking about first, let's get to know each other. Second, the 7 key elements for a successful event. Fourth, how Yapla's all-in-one solution can help you succeed. And last but not least, we want to hear you, so we will answer all your questions. So, Mathieu,
So yeah, quick presentation. My name is Mathieu. I'm a customer success manager with Yapla. I'm mostly responsible to introduce new clients to the system, answer their question, and make sure that they have everything they need to start using our software. I am joined by Camilo. He's our marketing manager at Yapla, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions in regards to all your needs for your association or your NPO.
Great.
So Yapla is a all-in-one platform offering payment and management system for NPOs. The main goals of Yapla when we decided to start this project was to free associations or NPOs of their administrative tasks that are usually done manually. So communication, accounting, registration, making sure that everyone is aware of your different events or any activities that you're organizing throughout the year. Also was the possibility to receive payments online. A simple interface allowing people to make their payments online and go away or as much as possible from payment by cash, checks, or any methods that doesn't allow you to receive the funds as soon as someone registers. After that, we have the centralization and the structure of your data, making sure that the data that you're collecting from your members, from your participants, or your donors is organized in a way that is easy to use. Not only for exports, if you're looking for Excel sheets to collect all that data, or if you're trying to simply have different functionalities within the Yapla communicate with each other and exploit the information that's been collected as best as possible. And then we wanted to make sure that we're committed to the community that we are working with, making sure that we're offering them all the tools they need to move forward with their activities, get better, have more impact within their own community. So that are mostly the main goal of Yapla, to be there with you, to support you, and make sure that everything gets easier for you.
Actually, I know and I have heard and I have read that by doing this, all the MPOs can save hours of time every week, every month, every year. On average, I know that we can save up to 8 hours or even more. So that's great
Yeah.
news.
And this
Okay,
is time
so
that you can then invest into furthering your activities and making it better for your community.
cool, cool. Good. So now, Mathieu, can you please tell us a little bit more about Yapla and the toolbox that the company offers?
Yeah. Yapla, like we've mentioned, is a tool to centralize your data. And this means that we are offering multiple tools that are working for different aspects of your activities. So we will have the members, the events, the donations, the website, the accounting, newsletters, data, and contact. These are all different tools that are offering multiple ways to collect information, offer payment processing, but also offer automation for all these activities. Today, the focus of the presentation will mostly be on events, but we'll be touching the member functionality, the website functionality, and potentially other functionalities that are connected to the events. So if you have any questions in regards to other functionalities, make sure to reach out to our support team or to maybe ask them in the question section. We'll be more than happy to answer them. Now, Yapla is offering the possibility for you to collect 100% of the fares that you're applying to your events. We are offering the voluntary contribution system, which is simply an extra step that you have in the payment process, where Yapla is suggesting a donation amount a contribution that your members or your participants can offer to Yapla, and they can increase the amount, they can reduce it, they can remove it completely. Just by adding that extra step, you are receiving 100% of the payment amount. So you are collecting all the amounts that you're setting up for your fairs, for your events, for your memberships, and it allows us to offer that free option for association by having that contribution step for the people that are registering to your events.
So that means that by using this solution, I don't have to have like those type of headaches by using, I don't know, Interac or receiving cash. Well, I can do that too, but I can receive the money in a more expedite way and organized way by using this solution, right?
Exactly. It will allow you to receive payments online, meaning that you're not running after money for registrations or participants that have not given you that money. You're making sure that every single registration that you're having for your event is already paid for, and then you can have a clear head starting your event knowing that all the funds that you are needing to organize these kinds of events have already been received.
Okay, cool. Okay, so guys, now we want to run a survey. So we have a question for everybody, and it is, what type of event are you organizing? So Mathieu, can you please help me out running the survey?
It's been published already. People can now answer if you are organizing one-day event, recurring events, seasonal events, or all type of events. This allows us to know a bit more about what exactly you're looking to understand with our tools and how we can shape the presentation to make sure that we are presenting exactly what you're looking for. So please let us know if you're organizing any of these events, and if you are organizing other type of events, make sure to add it to the chat so our future presentation can be more adapted to your needs.
Cool. Thanks, Mathieu. Now, speaking about the key topic for today, the 7 essentials for a successful event, we're gonna be covering the following elements. 1, 4 questions to ask yourself. So the objective here is to help you structure yourself. It's important to know, why do you want to organize this event? It's important to also consider, who do you want to reach, what resources do you want to have available, and when and where will your event be taking place. All of that sounds to be obvious. Maybe everybody is aware of that, but it's always important to start from there, to start from an objective, to start from the WH questions, like why, the who, the what. And once you have that answer, then it'll be easier for you to start defining the action plan. So that's number one. Number two, define a clear organization with your team. So it's important to have either a town hall or meeting with your team. So the statement here is, alone we go faster, together we go further. So it's important that you all go in synergy towards a specific goal. So number one, as you can see on the left-hand side, clear roles for everyone. It's important that everybody knows what they're gonna do, what's their objective or their role on every single thing that will be done during the event. Number two, a schedule with key deadlines. So it's always important to have those deadlines, milestones, to always make sure that you know what comes first, next, and after. So everybody is aligned and they know when and what needs to be done. And third, but not least important, delegate by giving them all the keys. So centralize information, plan time for exchanging on tasks, milestones, etc. So it's always important to have leaders, but also important to delegate and to let others do their work according to whatever is needed on the different phases and different milestones of the project. Now, number three, set your prices smartly if the event is paid. So it's always important to stay agile to maintain sales peaks. So number one is very, very important to define the break-even point or price. So here's an equation. So the equation is defining the total event cost over the expected number of participants. So it's important that you always have those numbers in mind, because that's gonna give you the positive revenue numbers for the event. Number two, it's always important to have a differentiated pricing. So if you have, like here it's saying, offer different prices with different services and benefits. The example is price reserved for members, VIP access, fast track, etc. So depending on your type of event, is recommended to have that differentiation between the prices. So you customize a little bit the way that you are charging something to the different types of groups or audiences that you have. Number three, create sales peaks. So try to manage the moments prior and prior up to the moment of the event, so that you can generate a little bit of expectation, and you can plan offers and discounts during the sales period. So pre-sales, promotional offers, etc., to try to incentivize your audience to buy the tickets, not only at the beginning and the day of the event. So regarding that, I'm going to show you a graph here. So it's always important to stay agile and maintain the sales peak. So on the left-hand side, you can see a graph that is showing the classic sales cycle. So you can see the ticket sales, that is one moment and just before the event, but in between you see that things are flat. So the idea is to try to avoid that and try to be more proactive and dynamic. So that's why we have on the right-hand side the title Dynamic Sales, and the graph is showing that sales can vary and have multiple peaks over time. So starting from the pre-sales phase, where you can announce that there's an event, that there's different type of pricing, then you can have a ticket sales moment, and also other moments where you can have an offer number one, where you incentivize your audience with something. So you try to boost that moment where there's a beneficial price or incentive for them to take action. Same as with the moment of offer two. And finally will be the moment right before the event. So if you can create that sense of urgency or willingness to buy the ticket, will be great. And that's why we have these peaks. Now, we also have worked on a document that we find it useful and resourceful for you guys. So it's called 10 Ways to Boost Your Ticket Sales for Events. And within that document, you will find, number one, set your discounts smartly. So you can find like tricks on how to do that in a better way. Number two, use technology to optimize registration experience. And maybe regarding that, even if the document is showing that, Mathieu is going to show you good tricks on that. And also important to know within that document, communication campaign and more. So that'll be shared on that document. Whenever we share the presentation with you guys, you can click on this CTA and then you will be able to access that blog that has information regarding this topic. Now, number four, prepare your 360 communication plan. So it's always important to know what happens before, during, and after the event. So it's important to capitalize on this event for future. So number one, it's important that we review what information to give before the event. Why would people pay and travel to attend? What's in it for whomever wants to go to the event? So it's important to maybe let everybody know that there's gonna be like either key speakers or something attractive or something that calls the attention. Number two, what are we going to share on the day of the event? So it's always key also to have one message at a time. It's better to have short formats with essential information so we can talk about that and we don't distract people with too much information that is not related to what's going to happen the day of. And finally, how to capitalize on this event for the next edition. So it's always also key to keep in mind that you gotta have learnings about the event. It's always good to have like a post-mortem moment where you learn about what happened. So you from that you say we should be doing this, we should be doing something better, and we shouldn't be doing other things. So it's key to have that post-mortem moment. Be creative. So and that means that create that wow effect. So there's no need to reveal everything in your communications or everything. So you can talk about, you can tease your audience with what's going to happen, with maybe with numbers that show what's going to be cool during the event, what kind of, I don't know, if there's a raffle or something like that, will be good to know the prize, things like that. But maybe leave something for the audience to know the day of the event so that you don't speak out loud about everything, and also keep surprises and specific content for that day. So it's related to what I just mentioned. Now, review your event. So it's always important to summarize the information, keep a record of the event to assess the results, and that also related to what I highlighted before. Identify these trends. So it's always good to know the areas for improvement for future events. If I don't know, the planning was not done properly, or like under the previous phases of the event, if I don't know, the milestones were not properly set, or during the event, if I don't know, something went wrong, or if by chance you had more people, but you didn't know how to manage more people than expected, then all of that is good to keep in mind for the upcoming events. And always facilitate communication on results and inform various stakeholders about that. Finally, the step number 7 is equip yourself with a tool that saves you time. So it's crucial to have a tool that helps you automate, centralize, and have better results. So, number one, registration management. It's good to have a standardized solution that helps you manage the registration from the day one or the day of the communication and onwards. Number two, handling unforeseen events. So if there's refunds or things of such type, it's good to have a solution that makes that process expedite. So the invitees who already registered want to receive their money back, they can do it. Number three, communications and reminders. It's also good to have a newsletter solution or an emailing solution, or if you want to have other channels, like if you want to use WhatsApp or any other type of channels, it's good to send reminders to your audience so that they know that the event is going to happen. And finally, accounting for payment. So sometimes if you don't manage the accounting in a synchronized way, also in a centralized way, it could be a headache. So it's better to have that unified, standardized, and hopefully synchronized with a unified tool. So that being said, we want to talk about Yapla, or all-in-one solution that can help you. And now I'm going to pass the word to Mathieu so you can share how Yapla works right now.
Thank you, Camilo. So, like you've seen, there's a lot of things to think about when you're setting up your event, when you're within or when you're during the registration period. Today, I'll be presenting you the different tools that we're offering to create your events, to make sure that all the offers that you can have are presented to your community, and also different ways that you can make it easier for you to manage the steps that are coming after the event or by the end of it. So here we are in the Yapla interface. We can see the event sections. You will have the list of all the events that you've created, the ones that are active, inactive. It would be possible for you to filter them through the search bar, either if you categorize them, the different kind of activities, the tags, and the statuses of them. Today we'll be showing you two kind of events. So end of the year show and also a charitable gala. And we'll see exactly how it's presenting itself through the website that you can create for Yapla, but also all the little different steps and things that you need to think about, like my colleague Camilo explained, in order to make sure that everything is set up properly. You can automate as much as possible in regards to communication, but also you can have a clear idea of what happened during the event, the registration period, and all of that in regards to the accounting and to how things could potentially be better next time. Or maybe you've done it perfectly the first time, and that's great too. Hopefully, what I'll be showing you today will make it as perfect as possible for your NPO. So when we are looking at an event like the end of the year show here that we've created, you have different tiles. Usually what we will be saying in regards to setting up an event, there's three main things that you need to think about. Four if we're just talking about the description of your event. So in the settings tile here is all the information in regards to your event. So the name, start date. If it's a single day event, you can simply not have an end of the day, an end date. I'll do that right now. You can add an image. You can have your description here. And then advanced description is more information that you can provide, location, organizers, speakers. These are all information in regards to the event itself. So what it is for, who it is for, what are the kind of things that you can present in order to create some hype or to make sure that, like my colleague was explaining, we have a dynamic sales peak instead of just a flat one. Now, when we are looking at the process and the multi-registration, usually events will be a multi-registration event, meaning that multiple people can register through one payment. There are different options that are available here. I will not go too much in depth here because it's not necessarily something that needs to be explained. Most of it is I'm enabling the registration of multiple participants for the same transaction, and then I decide what form is called depending on if I'm the first one or the second one being registered. Now, in regards to process, now we have different things that can be interesting. If we look here, we can see that we can allow a same email to subscribe several times, meaning that I can register multiple people with the same email address. And I can also activate the identification step, meaning that if you are also managing members and you would like to offer the possibilities for members to register through a different fare that are specific for them, then we would like to open the identification step, meaning that they will be able to connect to their membership space and then get access to specific fares that are addressed to them. And then you can also manage the amounts of available space. There's the registration manager mode that I will be talking about a bit later when we look at the charitable gala. Now, the three main steps of setting up your account once you've identified what the event is are the prices, the forms, and the communication. So if we look at the prices for the end of the year show, we'll see that we have a general fare and we have a member fare. The difference between the two is that the general fare is only presented for people that are registering without connecting to their membership space. So if I just navigate to the website, this is what I'll be saying. I'll see that the current price is $10, but if I connect to my membership space because I'm a member of the association, well, it's the member fare that will appear, and then I can see that it's $5 instead of $10. So there's ways to entice people to become members. If they know that they will, for your events, have to pay less because they are a member and they're paying a membership annually, then it's an incentive for them to become a member. Now, the second step here is the registration period. So like Camilo mentioned, here we are offering the early bird registration period, the regular registration period, and the day of, in order to make sure that throughout the registration period of your event, you interact with your members, you interact with your community. You're saying, oh, if you register early on, the price for registration will be lower. Or if you register the day of, careful, it will be a bit more expensive. So this allows you to modulate the price of your fares in order to make sure that throughout the registration period, people have incentives to register as soon as possible. Now, we have also discount codes. So here we can see if someone types in YAPLA5, they have a $5 discount on their registration. Now, the registration periods, the discount codes, the options that we'll see with the next event are all personalized within the fare that we're setting up. So we can see here it's a general fare for an individual. We are not limiting the amount of people that can purchase that specific fares because we are limiting the amount of total fares that can be selected for the event. We've specified that it's a non-members only fare, so it will only appear if someone goes through the registration process, not connecting to their membership space. We could add a description for the price if there's specificity that we want to add. In this case, I didn't because it's just a general fare for an end of the year show. And here we can see the price per period. So we can see that we have the regular, the early bird, and the day of, and there's an increase in price the further we go along to the event. It would be possible to add more period if you want to add more, but it really depends on how long your registration period as a total is. Then we can see here that we have the coupon prices, so we can activate the coupon for this event or this fare. It would be possible to activate it in one fare and not in the other. So this way, it really depends on how you want to set it up. After that, we can see that we have the accounting section. So most of you will be working with the Essentials or maybe Plus Premium plan. At Essentials, you will only have the income account, but it would be possible for your different events to register those accounting writings within a specific income account. So if you want to make sure that the reports for your accounting are as precise as possible at the end of the year, it's possible to break down your income accounts in order to make sure that you have a clear idea of where the money is coming from. Now, it's also possible to add taxes for your fares if you want, and it will be automatically calculated. Now, the second thing that we need to think about once we have set up your prices is the forms. So what exactly are the information that we want to collect when someone registered to the event? Events usually don't require a lot of information. You just want to make sure that we have the basic information to get in contact with the person if there's anything. If the event, for example, has food that's being offered, maybe asking for allergies is a good idea, preferences. It would be also possible, for example, to ask how exactly did they learn about the event? Was it through your social media communications? Are they members and they received the newsletter? Did they just found it online and decided that that was something cool they could participate to? It's a good way to know exactly where people are coming from for your events, and then you can use that information after to maybe work better on your social media communication, maybe work better with the members within your community to make sure that they know exactly what kind of events they have access to and how they can benefit from their membership.
And sorry for chiming in, Mathieu, but yeah, just to reinforce the message, also with emails. So we also have our email solution, Yapla newsletter, and by using it, you can send targeted messages to your audiences by using that data that you get from the forms. So you can send more personalized messages once you know more about your audiences.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. That's really good intervention. Now, the last step when we are setting up our event would be the communication, the automatic communications that are sent out according to how people interact with the registration process. So when you have your communication list here, you can see the column communication type, and this usually will give you a good idea of what exactly is the trigger for that communication. So if we're looking at validated registration confirmation to the responsible is either the first person that is registered at the event for one transaction, or if you are activating the responsible mode that I'll be discussing later, it will gather all the registration of everyone registered and send it to the registration responsible. So communication, you're able to set up the communication language. So if your website is bilingual and your registration process is bilingual, we'll be able to set up different communication according to the language that is selected. Then you can specify who exactly will receive the communication. So here we see that as the responsible of registration, and it's the administrators of your account. So it's possible for you to receive copies of the communication that are sent out in order to know exactly when someone registers without having to connect to your Yapla admin account. And then here you have the subject, like any other email, and the content. When we see responsible first name, event name, company name, these are keywords here, event keywords and website keywords. This allows you to go and inject dynamically the information that's been collected through the registration process. So whether it's fields, information that's been provided through the registration process, the name of the fare that's been selected by the person, accounting information, everything can be injected within the communication in order to personalize it. And this allows you to have a communication that is a bit more personalized than just a thank you for your registration, see you on the day of the event. It's also a really good thing for communications to provide information that will be useful for your event. So if there are things to bring, if there's things to think about, let's say it's an outside event, well, make sure to bring maybe an umbrella, a poncho, or anything that would be useful in case that the weather is not so good. Same thing if there are specific things that people need to bring in order to participate to the event, it's a good way to offer a reminder. It's obviously something that we would suggest adding to the description of your event because it's good to have repetition in regards to that kind of information. But here, these are triggered automatically. So make sure that all the information that you want to communicate for someone who registers is added to your communication. Last thing, some of the communication will allow you to add a bill. So here we see we have the paid bill, but it would be possible to have bill to pay, cancel billed, or no bill if the event is free. This will automatically generate the bill for the registration of the event and will attach it as a PDF to the communication that's sent out. So communications, you have different ones. That was the validated registration confirmation to the responsible, but you can add reminders, you can add thank you notes. So reminders are either before or after the event, and you'll be able to set up an amount of time, an amount of days before or after the event to send out the communication. You can have multiple reminders, so maybe one a week before, the day after, to thank everyone for participating. And everything that I've showed for the other communication is the same for the reminders. So once you understand how one communication works, you understand all the communications. It's really just the triggers that change. So these are the three main things that you would have to set up for your event. What exactly is the event, the prices, the forms, and then the communications? There are other configurations that can be added in order to specify maybe the category of event or how exactly we want to make the registration process a bit more complex. But essentially, if you understand those things, you'll be able to set up any event that you're trying to do. Now, when we look at the registration here, we have, well, maybe I'll show you the website so you can have a better idea of, once you've set up everything, what is it exactly looking like? So here we have our website, we have our events page, and it will automatically present all the events that are available for registration. So here we have our end of the year show, we have the date, we have the information in regards to where it is, and we also have the remaining places for the registration. So if we go into the details page, we can see all the information again that's being displayed. We have a button to add to the calendar, our description, our image, and then when I click on register, it asks me, are you a member? So you remember when I set up my fares, I have a normal and a general fare, and I have my member fare. If I'm a member, I add my email, I add my password, I click next, it will connect me to my membership space, and I'll be able to access the member's fare. Now, I'm not a member, so I'll sign up without becoming a member. I have my general fare here, I click on register, and here I have my form. So I can add all the information that I want, for example, here, and it will add me within the registration process. If I want to register Camilo, then I go ahead and I simply add Camilo, add his email address, his phone number, and then I can add multiple people. If I have multiple fares, even if I'm not a member that's connected, it would be then possible to add more people for the different fares. So if, for example, you have an adult fare and a children fare, you can add everyone to your process in the same way. Now we click next. We have the summary of the registration. I accept the terms, and then I'll be able to move forward with the payment. So here we see credit card, check, payment simulator. This is when you're doing tests. So when you start your event, please remove that option, because otherwise people will be able to simply register without paying. But usually you will have your credit card and maybe your check, and then you have your billing information. It takes the information from the first person that's been registered. So usually it will be the person doing the registration. And then you have your payment and you can proceed to the payment. So if I use the payment simulator because I'm just doing a test, it will simulate a credit card payment. And I have my message here that confirms that I've been registered to the event. Now, every time someone registers, they're added to your registration list. So we can see here, there's me and there's my colleague, Camilo. If I click on the registration, I have all the information, and I also have the information of the person that was added with me to the event. I'll then have the information for the billing for Mathieu, and I'll also have my payments information, so we can see that it's been done with the payment simulator. I could then go see the accounting. I have all my writings here for the accounting, and you really get all the information that you need for the end of the year when you're taking out your reports. Now, for the registration here, it's possible for you to personalize your search. So all the information that is gathered here could be changed by clicking on the little button here. And it would be possible for you to, for example, remove the membership number, but then add another field that would be better for understanding who exactly is participating to your event. So like I was mentioning earlier, if there's allergies and stuff like that, could be a good idea to be able to search by I have allergies, I do not. So this way you know who needs to stay away from certain of the things that will be offered during the event. Now, for all the information that are displayed in the registration list, you can also customize this by clicking on the search presentation here. And you would be able to remove, for example, the group number or the bill organization and replace it by other information that will allow to browse through your registration list a bit faster without having to go through each individual registration form. And finally, you have your export here. So it's possible for you to export all the information that's been collected or all the information that are displayed within your registration lists. So when you click here, it asks you only the columns displayed on the screen or all the columns. All the columns will export absolutely all information that's been gathered. And the other option is just a simplified list that usually we will suggest to export when you're looking to have information the day of the event. So you don't necessarily want all the information. You want something that will fit on a standard page and that you can print out. Now, when it comes to the other events, so that's my end of the year show. That's my charitable gala. The difference between the two is that I'm not working with members' advantages in regards to the fairs. I'm not working with registration period. This year is really to collect money for a cause that we are supporting as an organization. So the registration period is the same for everyone. There's no way to save money because we're trying to collect money. So people will pay full price regardless if they register early or late, but it would be possible for them to buy a table of 6, for example. So if I add a group, I add the first person, and then I would be able to add the 6 people that are assigned to my table. Now we can see here that we have options. So it would be possible for me to purchase 2 beverage for each person at the table. And we can see that even though I have the same options for the 2 fairs, here it's only $25 and here it's $150 because it depends on how many people are included within my fair. Now the registration manager is something that I've mentioned earlier and I haven't mentioned until now because this allows you to identify someone who will receive the communication, the billing for the purchase that's been done. So for example, I'm registering Yapla to one of your events. I'm buying a table of 6, but I'm not participating to the event. I'm really just working the administration side of the registration. What I'll be doing is I'll register everyone that will be at the table here, but then when it comes time to register the registration manager, I will add my information. So the billing, the communications will be sent out to me, and I will be able to have that information, have the bills that are associated to that registration without being counted as one of the people that will be there for the event. So this is really interesting for maybe bigger events where you have organizations that are registering, and it's not necessarily the participants that are registering, that are doing the registration process, but maybe someone within the admin side of those organizations. The rest of the registration process is exactly the same. You have your summary, the payment, and the confirmation. Now, when we look at the events here, there's different things that you can set up. Here we are displaying all the events that are currently active, but it would be possible to categorize your events. So if you want to have, for example, classes, and then charitable events, and then maybe other types of events, but you have so many that displaying them all within one page would be more confusing, then you can create multiple pages for your events. and simply use the category that you will be setting up in advance to display just the classes, just the charitable event, and your regular events within 3 different pages. So this way it's easier to share the links on your social media, and it's easier to target your communication in a better way. So if you're reaching out to donors of previous campaigns, then it's possible for you to send the link for your charitable event page. Now, something that I forgot in regards to the charitable gala, and like I've mentioned, it's something that you're doing to collect funds for a specific cause that your organization is behind. What I've set up here is that for a general fare of $250, $200 of that fare is sent out to a donation campaign. And that donation campaign will be responsible to handle the generation and sending of the fiscal receipts. So automatically, as soon as someone buys a general fare or a group table of 6, it will take $200 per person and will send it to a campaign. And that campaign will generate the fiscal receipt, collect all the information from the registration, and send out the receipts to the person who registered. Again, it can be the registration manager or it can be the person, the participant. So this is a way to use our system to not only organize events, but also to generate fiscal receipts for people who are giving money for the cause you're organizing the event for. Obviously, there's plenty of other ways to use the event tool. These are 2 types of events that are recurring for us when we are talking with clients. So we wanted to focus on things that are touching as much as possible the different functionalities that are offered by our system, but there are plenty of other ways to use the system to adapt to your needs. So if you have questions in regards to how Yapla can address those needs and make sure that you are automating as much as possible in regards to your events in order to focus more time and efforts on making it better, bigger, and reach out more people, feel free to get in contact with us. We'll be more than happy to assist you and show you how exactly we can do all of that.
Perfect. So thanks, Mathieu. I'm going to share my screen for a sec.
You were already sharing your screen. You just removed it.
So how can I go back to that sharing? I'm going to do it again. Sorry about that. I don't see it. Yeah. So in conclusion, and thanks, Mathieu, because I think that's super useful. And yeah, I believe that there's so many questions. Actually, I have some that maybe we can talk about after. But now, when it comes to pricing, can you please maybe tell us a little bit how it works, so everybody has a better understanding of what we offer?
Yeah, so Yapla comes in different versions, depending on your needs, depending on the scale maybe of your events. One plan will answer more your needs. The free system really gives you a payment processing system in order to collect information, make your payments, but it's really a simplified version of the system. When we are looking at Yapla 360 with Essentials, Plus, and Premium, we are adding more ways to collect information, process payments, but also offer different ways to register to your events. So I suggest to go to our website, yapla.ca/en/pricing, in order to see the different inclusions that you can get according to the plan. And if you have questions or you're unsure exactly what plan works best for you, please feel free to get in contact with us and we'll be more than happy to discuss all of that together. But I would say the online help, the help center, will give you a lot of information in regards to what tools are available at what plan. So if you look, for example, for the Responsible Manager article in our online help, it will give you at what plan it is available. So it's a good way to know exactly what plan works best for you. And as I said, our prices are on our website, and it includes all the different inclusions of every plan. Now, if we look at the webinar to discover Yapla, and the presentation will be sent out to you, so you'll be able to click on those links. You will get access to all the previous webinars that we've done for the different tools that we have, or if it's the general webinar, you'll get to see an overview of all the tools. It's a really good way to better understand how exactly Yapla is working and how it can help you. The personalized demo, these are videos that you'll be able to get for specific functionalities, and you can also register for a personalized demo with our team. So if you want to discuss specifically the needs of your association, feel free to register for a demonstration with us. It will either be me or Camilo or my colleague Catherine will be able to chat with you a little bit, better understand your needs, and show you exactly how you can use Yapla to benefit your association. Now, when it comes to our experts that can accompany you or the content that you can be inspired by, you could get in contact with our professional services team. They'll be more than happy to have a chat with you in regards to the needs of your association. And for bigger projects that require maybe more complex or simply bigger scale events, we have different tools like the Congress tools that we haven't discussed today because it is a bit short to really go in depth with that tool, but it allows you to create events that are happening on multiple days with a schedule of different smaller events or classes that can happen within a schedule. So we'll be more than happy to meet you, see how exactly we can plan the setting up of your account with us, and help you move and think about anything that could benefit your events in the long run.
Okay, and regarding the content, thanks, Mathieu. We have created this article that has those 7 steps for you to manage and organize your events for your NPOs in an efficient way. So you will have access to it by clicking on this link here whenever you have the presentation, and feel free to create your free account if you want to give it a try to Yapla. It's easy. It's very simple. You just follow a few steps, and it'll be like a matter of minutes to have your account, to try out the product, and then maybe you can let us know how it works, how you feel about the solution. Finally, we have a survey. So we just wanted to know, on a scale from 1 to 5, how would you rate this webinar? So if you can do that, we really appreciate it. So thank you.
And like I've said, just to interject here, like I've said, if there are any things that you would have liked us to address within the presentation, make sure to let us know. It helps us shape our presentations for the future, and make sure that if there's something that for us is maybe obvious or maybe that we didn't consider, we can add it to the presentation and address it in the future. So thank you so much for letting us know if the presentation today works for you, if it's missing anything. It's all comments and feedbacks that we appreciate.
So thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, as Mathieu mentioned, you can reach out to us. I have some questions like how to manage the membership. If, let's say, there's an event on April, but the membership period had already started, should I pay for the whole year or just a portion of it? We can talk about that whenever you contact us, and we'll give you the answer to that. Same as the coupon code management, same as filtering the events by category, and any other type of things. So I just had those questions. I'll speak with Mathieu internally about that. But if you guys want to address any specific point, don't hesitate to reach out to us. So very happy to have you here. And whenever you want to speak with us, you can contact us at hello@yapla.com, or you can follow us in the following social media resources and platforms. So you will get all of this as soon as this presentation ends. And thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, guys.